I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah. Crystal Mitchell, do you have my business plan? Just review the pages of my marketing plan. Crystal Mitchell. Everyone, this is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic. It's been a while, Crystal. It's been a while.
It certainly have, but I know you've been out doing your thing at in Las Vegas. So that has come to a hiatus for the moment, right?
Oh, man. They completed on June 1st, and we're getting ready for graduation now. So we're in limbo waiting for that. I think they're trying to get a nice facility like the MGM.
Oh, wow.
Brand, so that's what they're looking at right now. And MGM is one of our strategic partners.
Okay.
So that's going to be a great thing. So very, very excited about that.
Oh, good. That's fantastic. So obviously it was a success.
Oh, yes. It was a huge success. And as a matter of fact, we're planning on doing Series 2 now.
Okay.
We want to do some communication sessions, and then we'll do another series of contract readiness workshop for these contractors.
Well, that's good that Las Vegas is taking a very proactive approach toward their entrepreneurs and really wanting them to share in the opportunities that are coming to Las Vegas as a result of the stadium and so forth. That's fantastic.
Oh, it's very good. And the primes on the stadium, I think McCarthy is one and Masterson, I think, is the other one. So they're really reaching out to get small businesses involved. I think they have a 15% participation goal on the project. Oh,
wow. Fantastic.
Yeah, so that's why we definitely want to get these contractors contract ready. So when they get on there, they can perform and meet all the guidelines and all the compliance guidelines.
Oh, well, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations on completing your course.
Thank you.
I know it took a lot out of you flying back and forth to Los Angeles, to Vegas, to Las Vegas. I know just with Mount SAC, trying to structure is not really the travel. It's to structure your other business around that buck. Because that's a block, right? Like the 12 hours I spend at Mount SAC, that means I got to do things in the morning before I get there. But I got to be on the road, and then the stress of getting to the travel.
And see, the thing is, if the class is for 3 hours, you're not spending 3 hours. You're probably spending about 6 to 8 hours
because you got to get to and from.
Getting to and from.
Right, exactly. So it's a lot. And, people don't think, and I didn't think so either, but when you teach for 4 hours straight, when you come back, you have nothing left. It's like the brain is just empty of stuff, right?
And especially if you don't have on proper shoes. If the shoes is not very comfortable, your back, your feet, everything, your knees,
everything is hurting, right? And you can't leave. It's not like you
can't leave.
You can't. You're stuck.
You gotta go through it and make it happen.
I know the first 2 weeks of Mount SAC is because that's straight instruction.
Yes.
That's before I really get to the practice sets or anything. I am so happy to get to the practice sets because then it's like the first maybe hour, 20 minutes I do instruction, and then I just leave them, and then I can sit and then I can go in and help them. And now this particular group I have, they were really pretty advanced.
That's good.
Much more than probably any group that I've had.
That's good.
Because I'm already I had to throw in budgets.
Oh, wow.
I don't ever throw in budgets.
Wow.
But
that's good, though.
This is how fast they were consuming the practice sets.
That's
like
great.
They were nothing. I mean, they were finishing them that day. And like, wait a minute, this is supposed to take 2 weeks. And so I had to keep finding more practice sets. I think actually I'm cultivating in my mind. Now, a practice set is like a company and all the day-to-day transactions, right? So I've found some. There's a book out there that a CPA wrote that, and it's for a fitness company. So it has merchandise and it has sales and membership.
So all the dynamics of that company, right? So it's like you're doing a real company.
It's like you're doing a real company because I give them they get instructions. But what I haven't been able to find, and so now I'm thinking about doing one myself is on a nonprofit. Because that's a different entity, and I have not been able to find anything. I did find someone that created a complex chart of accounts. They had to go in and create it. But I'm thinking that's what I want to do.
That's good.
Is write one up.
Well, maybe what you could do is just go to an actual nonprofit and say, hey, let me shadow you for a little bit.
Right. Well, and I can utilize, some of my clients. I have churches and so forth that's got ministries, and I've done enough of those. So I kind of know what the transactions are and, how the donors give money and that kind of stuff and how they set it up. So I think that's
because those are the first... Those are the first gigs you got, though, with churches and
right,
nonprofits,
exactly,
right?
And then eventually moved out to and small churches until I got to a big church, which was different than doing the accounting for the small churches.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna create my own because then I could schools that are actually using that because I think that's the best way to teach QuickBooks is to actually give them
some real life scenarios and let them do it. Because if you do these fictitious things, some of them may never ever get to that.
Right.
And then it won't mean anything
to them. It doesn't mean anything.
But if you give them something real that they can actually use now,
oh
yes, that's amazing.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to do that. But this group has been amazing.
That's great.
The only thing is that I got surprised on Friday, on Wednesday, because this class is, actually they've shorted us a week, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, we got to get it back.
Yeah, because we're supposed to be 11 weeks, right? It was 12, 11 weeks. Now it got short to 10 last week.
We got to go to a week back.
So we need to have that conversation offline. But that went down there. But so that means now I got to speed things up. I got to get the payroll in next week. So I'll start the payroll. I'm going to do the budgeting. Well, but it's been a good group.
You're right. We got to talk about this off the air because there's certain things that,
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that off the air.
We're not going to speed it up.
Right. So today, our topic today is everybody out there in audience land, if you're watching, I sent out a Facebook Live today, so it's 3. I got a couple of people on. Hey, Margot. Hey, Ronnie. Hey, Faith. We're going to answer questions. They will have the opportunity to utilize our coaching and our
very
skills.
Good. Very good. I'm excited about that.
You're excited about that. So please call in at 323-293-3375, or actually those of you that are here on Facebook Live, if you have any questions on how to run your business and you want the expertise from myself and Gilbert, we are in session. It's free of charge.
Classes in session.
Classes in session. But while we're waiting for people to reach out to us, I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I did this week.
Well, let me just give a little overview of our program here. So for those who are just tuning in, they understand what we do here on the Business Zone. The Business Zone is a platform, supply diversity platform for small businesses, whether it's woman-owned, minority, veteran-owned, or other, to tap into some resources that will help you to build and develop your business so you can become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. And then what we do in this platform is match you up with contract providers. So once we get you ready and you're in compliance, we match you up with contract providers. Well, they can offer opportunities to you. So that's really what the Business Zone is about.
Exactly.
So when you speak to us every week, we provide you insight, we provide you information, any questions that you have. Crystal and I can address it based on our expertise in the industry. We've been in the industry for over 20 years, and we work with a variety of different organizations like LA Unified School District, LA Community College District, LA Metro, Valley Economic Development Center, and Crystal, you've worked for quite a few.
Yeah, I've actually, for most of mine have been nonprofits.
You were on Wall Street?
I've done a company that traded on Wall Street, a couple of them actually, and .com. So mine has been a variety as well. My nonprofits, I have my small mom and pops, and those could be anything from hairstylists or hairdressers, daycare centers. I have that. Right now, I have someone, a consultant that does social media management.
Yeah.
So it's been a vast over the last. I've been in business now. Actually, in August it will be 30 years.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Wow, you got me beat by 10.
So I've been out there working hard at making sure. And it's so funny. Last week we had a really great guest. I don't know if you might not have seen the video as of yet. He is his name is Kenny Turner, and he actually is the individual that trained me or did the certification for the Nifty program.
Oh,
that I teach.
okay.
Right.
Yes.
So he was here. Great interview. I'll make sure you get that. I just uploaded it the other day.
Definitely.
But we were talking, and we were talking about the fact before he got to Nifty, working with youth, kids, he actually did adult coaching.
Oh, really?
And so we had some of the similar, but he was on the East Coast in New York.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Yeah, so it was really a good interview. So you'll enjoy it.
He got to see his work in action. Huh?
Yeah, right, exactly. But when I read his resume, I was like, whoa, okay, your bio, you're pretty impressive. Because he kind of got into, Nifty found him, but he had started a business back east. And he said, someone wanted him to come out and train some kids at a youth center. And he's like, okay, this is going to be interesting, because he was in the business, not learning how to teach it. So he said that was pretty fun. Right. But one of the things, when he and I were talking, was how important it is for what we're doing, because a lot of our small businesses just don't have the wherewithal or the resources with the knowledge that you and I both possess and have acquired over the years, and put the time and energy and the research in it ourselves. And we're willing to share, because a lot of people are not willing to share the knowledge that they have. They want to keep it to themselves. They feel that it's like a trade secret or something. Somebody gonna run off and run a business better than them. Wow, what
they think if they keep it up here, then it's going to give them that competitive advantage.
Right, exactly. Now this weekend, I did, and this guy, he's coming onto the show, and I thought of you when I met him. I was at the Cuban Festival downtown on Sunday. Daisy's Cuban.
Oh, yes,
so we started going to all the Latin festivals as I'm starting now.
Very good.
So we were at this one, but I met a guy that was there, and he has a very unique business. It's called Cali Blend.
Cali Blend.
Cali Blend.
How does it work?
What it is he's Puerto Rican, and he partnered up with a friend of his who is from El Salvador, and his sister. So what they've done is they have T-shirts, and they blend. And it's like you're in California, but they have your flag in the California. Actually, Felicia can put up the picture. I send it over to her. So they have T-shirts and tank tops and hoodies, so it represents your country.
Oh, that's great.
And then they'll do what it is, they were both very proud of their roots and their heritage. So they wanted to also be proud that they were born in California. They were raised in California, right? So they were Latino born and raised in California.
Right.
And they even have the ability to do custom shirts where they will put, if your mate is from Ecuador, right? So they have the Ecuador, and then they'll split it up with the Jamaican.
That. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah, so he's going to be on the show. I'm going to get him into the show, because it was really cool. He was, and they were really nice. The shirts are really well quiet, and they stood out because they had the Cuban. They have all the Cuban attire when you go to those, so but white T-shirts and so forth. But when Daisy,
I like that. That's different.
It's different, right? It's different. So when she gets to the show, she'll be able to show you in a minute what that looks like. It was on the it's on the email that I sent, but it's really cool. He has hats, so there you go. Isn't that pretty cool?
That is neat.
Yeah, so there's one somewhere in there. I saw it. I think it's
so they can combine the flags.
They can combine the flags.
Oh, like that one looks like the first one from the top left. That looks like two flags combined right
Right. So that's actually, so it's part of Panamania. I think that's Panamania, and then the one down below that They have Panamanian. They had Brazilian. But they did have Jamaican.
Oh wow!
And then they have it on the hats as well.
I like that.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
You have to check it out.
So I thought about you. So I'm gonna have all three of them on the show in a couple of weeks.
All right.
Yeah, I was like, okay, that's for Gilbert.
That's right. See, I love it when entrepreneurs are unique like that. They're different.
Right, exactly. Because you can be any kind of T-shirts, right?
Yeah, everybody could
But when
sell
you go,
T-shirts.
and when we were walking past them, Daisy stopped, and then she came back and she said, "Oh my God, I told them you had a show and that they need to be on your show."
Good.
And I got to talking to them, and they told me how they came together. They've known each other for about 2 decades.
Oh wow!
And so here they came together.
Yes.
And one's an artist and graphic artist, and then the sister is involved. She does all the business part, the market, the bookkeeping, and maintaining and ordering the merchandise.
Yeah.
And then the other guy, his name is Felix. I guess he's the salesperson.
That's good.
So they're going to come on the show and talk about their
definitely would love
product.
to have them.
Isn't that pretty cool?
Oh yes, for sure.
The other thing I did just last night, and this was kind of off the cuff. I hadn't planned on doing this, but I was invited to where there was a private filming of a screen of a movie at USC last night, and it was an alumni. So she did her school project on There Goes the Neighborhood. And it is a intimate following of an extended family that lives in View Park, and that they're experiencing the demographic changes occurring in their community.
Wow.
Oh my God, this young woman did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And this was her school project.
Now you make me want to go see it.
Right. So she's they've actually won a winner of the best documentary for Southern California First Look Film Festival.
That's great.
And they're going to be at the Los Angeles Film Festival. So you actually can go to this one. There's 2 dates. She's got one on July 10th, which is soon, and then the 21st. They still have some tickets available. With that, you can see the screening. Oh, actually, it's the 18th and the 20th.
Oh, okay.
So it's in Culver City, and they're screening it. So they're trying to get it out. So it was kind of interesting because the house, one of the houses they actually showed was a house that Mona did a open house for.
Oh yeah.
And the young lady, and I remember I was there helping.
So our project is touching pretty much everyone.
Right. And my brother-in-law has lived in the View Park area for 28 years. So basically they were talking about the demographic changes that has taken place. Right. And it's been kind of interesting with the other demographics moving in and not wanting to be inclusive.
Oh wow!
Right, and so there's an app, and this app is available to everybody. It's called Nextdoor. In every city, Nextdoor is an app, and so you see feedback and questions. So that's the promo right there.
Oh, that's it right there.
Yeah, so that's View Park, and there goes the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And so it was a black family, an extended black family that had been living in the community. The mother had been there for 40 years. She grew up in that community. Yeah. And then her children. And now her children are trying to buy.
So she's like first generation.
She's first generation, right, to that area. But the concern is the new generation. Her children want to live there. Yeah. But it's very expensive now, and so they interviewed also some a white couple that moved in, and she even says it's really sad that when we come here, the property values go up so significantly just because of the color of my skin.
Right. So that's somewhat like gentrification.
Just exactly.
Wow.
But here you're getting it firsthand. They're interviewing the residents and what that means. And then on this app called Nextdoor, there are some people understanding and feeling the empathy, and others is like, well, why are you guys so racist?
Right.
Because you
want to stay in your own
community.
Be straight up. They gotta be straight up.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So I'll get the information to you. There's a trailer online. It was really good. I was very impressed.
So the Nextdoor app, does it have statistics, demographics, and all that
I think it
stuff?
does, but I think they also use it as a complaint spot. They also use it if you're looking for your dog or anything that's going on in your community. I actually got a client from Nextdoor.
Really?
She put on there, did anybody know of a bookkeeper in the area?
Oh, wow.
And one of my clients who also was on, he said, yeah, and he told me, and then she calls me. I'm like, she goes, I found you on Nextdoor. You found me on Nextdoor? No, she meant that because I'm not registered on Nextdoor, but you can. You can put your business on Nextdoor, and if people are looking for for you in their community, then they can find you.
Oh, I'm gonna have to check out that Nextdoor and see what it's all about.
Right, exactly for your area and where you live.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe you'll find some interesting stuff about Nextdoor that you may not want to know about Nextdoor.
This is so true. It will have its good stuff and its bad stuff, right? Pros and cons, but it also could be very beneficial.
That's true.
Considering.
Let's check it out.
So what did you think about the hearings this week?
Oh, my Lord. That's like a circus going on right there right now. The thing that really got to me about this whole thing is all of these guys, you got one side, you got the left side and the right side. Guys on the left, see, I'm straightforward. I'm very transparent. I don't hold punches. I don't, try to butter up to people. Right. If you're bad, you're bad. Right. If you're good, you're good. Right,
exactly.
So just say it. Just say, hey, this is obstruction of justice. This went on and I don't agree with it. And, just say it. But, well, I don't know if it is. Let's wait until all.
I know. It's like, did they not hear the same thing we were here? I was sitting there riveted going, oh, my God. And then you hear the other commentators going, no, that's not what I heard. Yeah. What do you mean that's not what you heard?
They're listening to a different frequency.
Right. And their hearing was everything was on a different frequency. Yeah. But Comey, and what I find, because police officers, especially, or law enforcement on that level, their note-taking is copious.
Oh, yeah. Phenomenal.
Right?
I was watching that. I was going, man, I need to step up my game on my note-taking process.
But no, it's bad when the man has to run out of the Trump Tower and get to the car and start typing. That's really bad.
It's like he said, so we were sitting there and I was looking across and there's a silent, awkward silence. I was staring in his face. He was staring in my face. So I'm going to have to take some notes here. I was staring in Crystal's face. She was saving in mine. We weren't saying anything, but she knew what I was thinking.
Right. I tell you, it's like a novella, right? It's like a novella. You got backbiting, you got lying, you got wiretapping, you got threats.
And the thing about those novellas, somebody always go to jail.
Somebody always goes to jail. So we can hope.
Yeah.
But what I found is kind of interesting. Now, it's been a long time since I've worked in corporate America. But when your boss comes to you, they call you up. Yeah. Right? So you already okay, what the heck do they want? We need to have lunch or dinner. Yeah. Oh, don't tell me we need to do dinner.
Yeah, why am I a part of this? What's going on?
Why are you singling me out? Or clear out, everyone else leave, but Gilbert, you stay.
I know.
So what's going to happen? Your antennas are up. You're like, you're going through your archives going, what the hell have I done?
What did I do now?
Right, you got to did I do that right? Okay, I did sign that. And I did it right. All this is going, right? So and then if they tell you, I hope, so to you from a place of authority, I hope means you better be doing what I hope you're doing what I know you're supposed to be doing, right? That's not a hope like Christmas hope. Yeah. No, that's your boss is telling you, I hope you are whatever. Then that means you're supposed to be doing whatever you were supposed to do, right?
That is crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Man.
Right, exactly. Just the subtext of that coming from who it's coming from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that tells you.
That is ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's going to be kind of interesting. And the talk show on CNN, I saw one with Don Lemon. They spent the whole time, it was 6 people on a panel. They were yelling and screaming. I thought some people were going to come across the table, going to punch some other people. It's like, oh my God, this is better than novellas.
It is unbelievable. And the thing about it is, they keep going back and forth. The truth is going to come out. The truth is going to come out. It has to. Somebody's going to make a mistake and say the truth.
And actually, Mueller, I was reading today that he's pulled together his team, and his team has taken down the mafia, the Gambinos, or wherever they are, and Enron, and Madoff, and Watergate. And this one guy he has, they said that he is by far the best person in the whole world, not just the country, the whole world, that if there's a money trail, he like a dog in heat.
That's like a ninja-style prosecutor right there.
Right, exactly. So he didn't brought him on. He gonna sniff out all the money. So it looks like possibly the whole entire administration will be in orange suits. that will be the day, won't it?
Oh my Lord, this is going to be interesting.
It's going to be interesting but at the same time, we need to be cognizant, because there's certain things going on behind the scenes. So the Dodd-Frank legislation for restricting big banks, they put in legislation yesterday to remove the Dodd-Frank. Yeah, it's like, so there's stuff going on that we still got to stay focused, even though we're entertained by all the craziness. Right. We got to make sure that we're protecting. I think Ben Carson, he just massively cut housing, the budget for housing. So there's stuff going on.
Are something else.
Yeah, that can affect our people.
One thing else I learned last week, Crystal, which is very critical to us as small business and minority-owned business and women-owned business, is that the administration is planning on cutting the budget of the Minority Business Development Agency, which is MBDA. Now, MBDA was designed to assist small businesses and minority-owned businesses in giving them a second chance, evening the playing field so they can obtain opportunities.
Right.
Now, with them cutting the budget, the budget was at $38 million. Now it's at 32, and they're still thinking of cutting it deeper by at least another 12 million.
Right.
Now, what those organizations do, they make funds available so trade association and nonprofits can apply for grants to help small businesses. So now when they slash that budget like that, there's no way that those same organizations are going to be able to do the work that they've been doing because they don't have funds.
Exactly.
So I think that's one of the things we should be on the lookout for, and we should really petition strongly.
Right, exactly. And that's why I think it's so important that we and my organization, the CBOs in the community, we need to come together because we need massive voices, because those are the things, like I said, even though the comedy show and the circus show is going on in DC, but there's some things that really implicate or impact our business community. So, in the beginning, he talked about, he was all about small business, right? Yeah. Well, how do you come back and cut something that pertains to small businesses and really the game changer for small businesses?
A lot of people will say what they need to say to get votes or to get people to think or believe in them.
Right.
And then after they get the support, then they start acting up. And that's what we see. That's a classic case of that. Because we heard the same thing about Medicaid and all of that, and now they're slicing that $800 billion. So, we know that information that we're hearing is not true. I went to the website here at mbda.org, and for the listeners who are listening right now, if you go to MBDA, that's Mary, Bob, David, Apple.org. You will see everything you need to see about this program we're talking about right now. It's the Minority Business Development Agency, which is supported by the Department of Commerce as well.
So it's called the MBDA.
DA.
DA.
Yeah,
okay.
.org.
.org. Okay, so this is for those of you that's on Facebook Live. This is good information. So go to that website and see what Gilbert's talking about on how they cut the budget for that. Because that's some of the areas that we're really trying to focus in.
That's what I'm talking
Because that's a
about.
game changer.
Yes.
If you can get contracts and then you have your trade associations
Yes.
making sure that they're providing the training and the certification, making sure you can get certified, they need those monies to make that happen.
Right.
So it's important that within the craziness that we see, that we're not letting things slip between the cracks.
Exactly.
Because we'll look up and quietly they would have done things that would have hurt us. They're not going to hurt them. They're going to hurt us.
And that's what they've been doing. These programs are slashing them quietly. Nobody really knows what they're doing.
Yeah, I was at a meeting yesterday. I'm doing a biz camp for our kids, the junior biz camp that I do with the Urban League and Nifty. And I was at a meeting yesterday. There's called the LAP3, which is a regional collaborative meeting that they have, a group that they have. And so one lady was saying, I meant to give you these flyers last week. So for parents who have children, they were actually giving away car seats. And if you had a car that you owned that broke down, you could get car repairs up to $1,500.
Oh, wow.
She says, but as they were telling her, they're like, but they're slashing that budget next week, so they're ending the program on June 30th.
I'm telling you.
It's like, wow. And who knew? Nobody knew that.
Anything to help the small business to become self-sufficient is that's like a big target there. They're looking to slash or get rid of it.
Because it's about big business.
Exactly.
Right. So
exactly.
and making sure that they're pushing out, and which is why the minority certification programs are there.
Yes.
So that you can get in a bigger playing field and not have to do business only with moms and pops and small
I did make an error on the website. It is mbda.gov, not org.
Okay. So
.gov.
MBDA.gov. Okay, MBD.
And if you look on the website, one of the photos on there is one of our local small businesses, Pat Watts.
Oh, really?
Pat Watts, yeah, she's on there. I've seen her on there. I'm going, wow, this is phenomenal.
So it's mbda.gov. So you guys can go there and get some information. What are some of the other organizations we could tell our people if they're interested in becoming certified, besides coming to us and making it happen? But if they just want to find out what it's all about.
They could go to Metro. LA Metro, that's one facility they can go to. They can go to the County of Los Angeles.
Okay.
And because they have a small business program, they can go to Orange County OCTA.
Okay.
They can go to the state of California, which is DGS.
Okay.
Department of General Services. Caltrans, they can go there as well. Or just go to their websites. They can go to the city of Los Angeles, Bureau of Contract Compliance.
Okay.
So these are all facilities that they can get their certifications, and many of those all of those certifications are free.
Okay.
They can get, if they know what they're doing, they can do it themselves. But if not, then they may want to hire a consultant to help them streamline the paperwork.
Okay. Which is probably the better way, because there's so many things that that they're trying to do with their own businesses.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads me into our conversation today. Yeah. One of the things that I've been noticing, and I'm sure you've noticed it as well, is that we talk about financial literacy, but we talk about it from a personal level, an individual level. Yeah. But we don't talk about financial literacy from a business level.
Yes.
And in order to even get to that place where, Jerry Green just said another one is PTAC, PTAC.
Yeah, PTAC, the Procurement Technical Assistance Center.
Okay.
And that's also through the County of Los Angeles.
Okay. All right. So there you guys go. There you have that one. But one of the things that I know is that and I had a client yesterday, and this is and I went to do some QuickBooks training with him, and he's a pretty bright guy. He had been using QuickBooks only to record his expenses. He wasn't quite sure how to put his income there.
Right.
So I went in to show him how to do that.
Yeah.
And he was like, "That's what I need." I said, "Right, because if you he said at the end of the month I can see specifically what I spent, what I brought in, and that means I can forecast." I was like, exactly. Because you have to know how you're doing. It's like a barometer, like taking your temperature, right?
Exactly.
And to help you make decisions. So one of the areas I've been wanting to spend more time in is creating programs and workshops and seminars that's geared more to business financial literacy.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah, because you run into that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and
for
I
sure.
get it. I run into that. And I have people, I was doing books for someone and provided a P&L. And so the next question, of course, when they get the P&L is, well, what's your profit margin? And they're like, huh?
Wow.
So, so again, like I said, the banks and everybody are worrying about you and how you manage your personal money.
Yes.
Have your savings account and your 10%. But when you come to a business, you really need to understand how money works.
Yes, you have to. You have to. And that's one of the things that we're going to do, Crystal, in our workshop, you and I. We're going to put together an infrastructure to show the business owners how it works from A to Z.
Right.
And we're going to make it literal. So we're going to have physical specimen that will explain to them how it works. Okay, so here's box A.
Right.
This is what box A does. Then box A is connected to box B.
Right.
In box B, you have this and this and this. But if you don't have these documents over here in this checklist, then you can't get into box B.
Right.
And then box B, once you have that, it takes you to box C. And that's how we're going to have to do it to make it easy and simple for them.
Exactly. And the reason they have to understand how money works is because that's how they create financial goals for their businesses and also set up priorities on what you need to be doing.
Yes.
And budgeting for like hiring employees. When do you know when is exactly time for you to hire an employee?
And the way I would look at this, when you're driving, let's say you're driving from here to Santa Barbara and you look at your gas gauge on your dashboard. Some of the newer cars now, they tell you how many miles you have left to empty.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
So by looking at that, let's say you have 100 miles left to empty. Mm-hmm. You can pretty much forecast. You can forecast where you're going to be at the end of that 100 or with 95 miles out of the 100.
Right.
Because at that point, you're going to get ready to buy gas again.
Right, exactly.
So you know that you're going to have to, get some money so you can purchase the gas so you can continue on your journey because the last thing you want to run out of gas. So they can look at the forecasting like that.
Yeah, and actually somebody that would look at forecasting like that would be a truck driver, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's their business.
Oh, yeah.
They're independent. So they're having to gauge because that's an expense of theirs, right?
Yes.
So they have to know and the repair of their trucks and also knowing that they have to have enough money in reserve because if they have to fix their own trucks, if it's their trucks, what does that mean if the truck is out of commission?
That's right.
Right?
So those are some of the things that we're going to have to use to illustrate.
Right, exactly.
To get the business owners understanding, this is the guy I met with last week from MBDA.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you're on their site. Yeah, see, look at that. It's a small world in the business world.
And he used to be a coordinator over at USC.
Oh, really?
Yes. And now he's in Washington.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
So this is a big team right here. This is an MBDA team. That looks like Barbara Sullivan right there.
How is Barbara doing?
Barbara's doing fine. She's doing fine last time I spoke with her. And, I got to give her a lot of credit. She's doing a great job trying to run her business and, keep it on top of all the competitors who are snapping at her heels, trying to take away some of her opportunities.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you got to stay competitive.
Oh, you
and
definitely-
again, that's why you have to know how to run your business and understand
gotta
how
stay
money.
ready.
Right?
Gotta
you gotta
stay
stay
ready.
ready, right? Because a business that and you can take us for example. You've been going back and forth to Las Vegas, but
Yes.
at the same time you have a coaching business and
Yes.
you have a consulting business
Yes.
and training business. So you kind of have all these lots of balls in the air when you're traveling all over the place.
Yes. Yes.
And the same thing with me when I do Mount Sac. Where I would be scheduling appointments during that 12-hour, or actually it's more than that. It's 4 hours plus 6 hours actually a day.
Yeah.
And so now I got to do my business morning and before I head out on the road, and everything gets pushed to Thursday, and
Definitely,
then prepping for the show.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to know, and you also have to know what business to accept.
Yes.
When you have when your business is working and things are coming together based upon your plan.
Because not all business is good business. Not all business. You see what I mean? And that's why as consultants sometimes we got to fire some of our clients. We got to fire them. Because they don't contribute to the economic growth of your organization or the economy itself. So why even waste your time?
Yeah, I was telling a client that the other day, and I had done her P&L for her, and we were reviewing it, and she was going, "Wow, I'm having to make some changes." I said, "Well, because when you first started in business, all business is good business, right? Because it just means somebody's going to pay you some money. But after you fine-tuned it, and it's really going in the direction you want it to go in, and you got some real quality clients and some potential referrals that are coming in, you're like, okay, do I still need to keep this? Or do I need to help them find a new person to do? So that's all part of that projection, right?
Exactly.
Because you could lose a big client.
Oh, for sure.
Not knowing when to let go of some of the clients you're early, and not that you don't think their business is important.
Right.
It's just you got to make room, especially when it's you're kind of a solopreneur.
And one of the key things that we have to do as entrepreneurs and small business owners is to make sure that we have sufficient contracts in the basket.
Right.
You don't want to rely on just one contract. You want to have sufficient that can help to sustain your operations, help to pay the bills, your mortgage, and all those things.
Mm-hmm. And balance it. Learn how to balance it.
Yes.
So that's why it's important that because that's going to create the stability in your business.
Yeah.
Because it's really hard if your business is so fluctuating, and you have to know when the fluctuations and when the downtimes are in your business, and when you have the peak seasons in your business. And
that's part of what we talk about in measuring. You got to study the matrix, study the data, and measure the data. In small business, you always have to measure. And you can measure in a lot of ways. So let's say you did a marketing campaign. You spend $10,000, $15,000 on that marketing campaign. Okay, so you're going to say, okay, I just spent $15,000. Now let's see what I get back out of my $15,000 that I just spent.
Right.
So then you monitor that as you go along. Oh, I need to get some let's say I need salt.
Right.
Let's throw that out there.
Right.
I need salt. I need vinegar or whatever. So all of those things that you need, you put it together as part of your plan so that once you get it all together, then you won't have to need that anymore.
Right.
Because it helps to satisfy the process itself to get you from point A to point B.
Right. And I think some small businesses, because when you talk about your needs and being able to project out your needs, so small businesses, they don't always think of spending the money for the volume and anticipating how far that's going to go out and how that's going to take them out. They kind of do onesie-twosies, which is, a pet peeve of mine is when you go to a restaurant and you ask for their main menu item and they've run out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they don't project that. When I was at the festival this weekend, there was these two young ladies that, so they're booths, and I assume this was probably their first experience at a booth, right? So when I come up there and they had this beautiful, delicious, refreshing picture of a sangria. Yeah. That's like, okay, that's what I want. And I get up there and she goes, oh, we don't have sangria.
Oh, that's false advertising.
Why you got it sitting up there and it's hot out here and that's what I want. Yeah. But we have pina coladas. But that's not what I wanted. So I told her, I said, and myself and another lady said, well, why don't you just turn that picture around? Right. So, because if pina coladas is all that you have, but then as Daisy and I were there and we were having fun and we looked up, they were already shutting down their table at 6:00 and the festival went on to 8.
Oh, man.
So they didn't even measure out, how many people, and they could have asked the promoter, how many people do you anticipate being? Because this is an annual festival. And even though they changed the location, they still had about 300-400, maybe about 600 people there. So they should have. The thought process then is, okay, so about how many people you think are going to show up. Yes. Then you monitor these are the measures, right? You go, it's going to be hot. It's downtown Los Angeles in this last Sunday, so it was like 85, 90 degrees. Right. These are going to be some thirsty people. Mm-hmm. And it's salsa. Yeah. And they had a little area for food, but pretty much everybody was going to be drinking.
And that salsa makes you want to drink too. So I don't know what they were thinking. So.
Right. So by 6:00, they were having to wrap up, close up the shop.
Wow.
And so now you didn't lose out because now the bulk of the people are going to come really more in the evening because it's cooler now. Yeah. And they're going to become ready because they've been wherever they've been. So those are the type of measurements you have to think about in your business.
Yeah, you got to have measurements. Right. You got to have it on performance. You got to have it on activities. Have it on, the person who you spoke to earlier and you said, well, how can you help me? I can help you in these ways. Well, you need to list all of those ways that he's talking about or she's talking about and look at the costs associated with it.
Yeah. Right, exactly, because it doesn't happen. So, and then in your regular businesses that are a brick and mortar, tracking your growth. Understanding how you're going to grow from year to year, because it always amazes me that when I go out and do accounting for clients, and especially I've seen this in churches that and I've had churches for long periods of time that when I'm tracking their growth, it's the same. They've like flatlined.
Right.
And those are the individuals that don't realize that you have to have other streams of income.
And they don't know that the thing has changed. They don't know because, they said you don't know what you don't know. Right. So that's really what that is right there.
Right, exactly. But it's so important and really important now. When we think about what's going on in this country, what's going on in the world, we as African Americans or minority-based businesses, we got to start thinking like big businesses.
Oh, for sure.
We got to start thinking like corporations and how do we keep growing our businesses and creating an impact for our business.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is really what I've talked to a lot of the trade associations, a lot of the chambers, and a lot of other business entities that are advocates for small businesses. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing. I mean, they're all in agreement that these things that we're offering should be done, but they don't want to just say, you know what, forget this, let me handle it. Yeah, exactly. So you want to take a quick break? Yes, let's do that.
Okay, so we'll be back, everyone, in a few minutes.
Yes.
And if you have any questions, give us a call at 323-293-3375. Or those of you that are on Facebook Live, just text a question, and Gilbert and I will be happy to answer.
Yeah, we want to hear from you on Facebook. We want to target our Facebook supporters right now. We want you to call us in the next 5 minutes, okay?
So you guys hear that? There's quite a few people on Facebook. Hey, William, how are are you? Hey, Rita. Hey, Jerry. Let's see who else was there. We had Margot and Faith and TJ. TJ, give us a call. Johnny Sharp and Virgil. Yeah, it must be Virgil. Yeah. And Virgil. You guys are all on Facebook Live right now. Give us a call while we're on break.
You're in the business zone.
Meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.
Okay. And we are back. You're tuned into the Business Zone with Christo
and Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic.
All right, and we're having a conversation on business financial literacy. What does it mean to our business owners? How well do they know how money works for them. So those of you that are on Facebook Live right now, a number of you have businesses. So
give us a call.
Give us a call and tell us how you understand business literacy and how are you tracking your growth of your business, or do you need help?
And what pain are you experiencing right now in your business?
Right, exactly. And anybody else listening, give us a call. So Gilbert, because I know you do a series of classes, workshops for Edison, and this is a subject that obviously that you have to cover or have to discuss with individuals that are doing contract business. So what are some of the things that you coach them on?
Well, the first thing that I do with the small business is, in order to get them to that level where we call it bank loan ready or business loan readiness, is to make sure that they understand what ratios are. Okay. Because ratios are the things that the lenders are going to measure them or evaluate them against. So they need to know what type of ratios the lenders look at. You've got cash ratio, you got quick ratio, you got current ratio, and you got liquidity ratio. Okay. So all of those things are things that they're looking at. They're measuring you. They call, the quick ratio, they call that the acid test. And pretty much what they're looking at is, for every dollar that comes in, how much is going out.
Right.
And that's a good way to measure your business. And you as a business owner can look at this too. For every dollar that comes in, how much goes out. So if you're bringing in $1, but $1.50 is going out, then that's not in your favor. That's not good for you.
Right.
So if you bring in $1, 50 cents is going out, or 75 cents, then you got another 25 cents there that you can use to build your business.
Exactly. Which is why if they don't know that, then they run out of money and find themselves in a position where they can't pay their contractors, or they can't buy materials.
Exactly.
Which now puts them in a bad light for the contractor services.
Exactly. Right? And here's another thing I want to put out there, because I've dealt with a lot of small businesses, and a lot of small businesses are comfortable breaking even. That's the myth out there. You don't want to break even. That means you're spending a lot of time, energy, and effort bringing in money and putting it back out there. So you're not really making a profit. So what's the use?
Right.
And the whole purpose of making a profit is so if something goes wrong while you're in operation, so let's say the light goes out or some catastrophe occurs,
right,
you need to have some money available somewhere that you can leverage to fix that problem, that emergency problem. But if you're breaking even, where are you going to get that money from?
You don't have that money.
Exactly.
So what would you say is, based upon your clients, because your clients are pretty high level, on a higher level, what would you say would be that percentage, that profit margin that they should be, a healthy profit margin for them to live with?
Well, what the banks are looking at is, if you're bringing in $2 and you have $1 going out, that's good. Or if you have $1.25 going out, that's good. Okay. So that's how I want small business to look at this. You bring in $2 and you have $1 or $1.25 going out, then you're good. But you don't want anything less than that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you want more, but you don't want less. So if it means you got to increase the number of dollars coming in, then good. You got to do sales. You got to do some type of marketing or try to obtain a contract. Never get a loan. Never get a loan to increase that revenue
well, it really doesn't
margin.
do that anyway, because you're in debt, right?
Exactly. No, you're digging deeper in debt.
You're digging deeper
exactly.
in debt. Right, exactly. But again, if you were monitoring, and we know this, a lot of our small businesses are not monitoring their financial statement by using a accounting software and having a bookkeeper, and you can have a bookkeeper that is not housed where you are.
Right.
There are several ways you can do that. You can have an entry level who's been trained to use a software, QuickBooks, Peachtree, what have you, and they can help you grow.
Yes.
Because you have to know when it's time to hire.
Yes.
You have to know if your business can afford to buy product and in volume.
Yeah.
And you actually also, that helps you because buying in volume actually is saving you money.
Yeah.
Because you're paying less.
And
right?
Crystal, you just touched on a key point there that many small businesses ask because they really don't know and they're saying, how do we do this? The question is, when do we hire? How do we know when it's time to hire someone else?
Right.
Let's say you're a sole entrepreneur, you're running your business all by yourself and you're being the jack of all trade and the master of none, doing all these different things. So you want to figure out, okay, so, I sweep the floor, I do janitorial services, I do marketing, I do the bookkeeping, I do all of these types of things, and I don't have the time and effort to do it anymore. What do I do? Well, that's around about the time when you should realize that it's time to start hiring someone. Mm-hmm. Because if you're doing everything, none of us is expert in every area.
No.
We may be an expert in one or two areas.
Right.
But, marketing, the tax return, the bookkeeping, the janitorial services, sales, running the business, running the operations, doing HR, doing safety plan development. We are not expert in all of those. So as a business owner, you need to recognize that. And if you have the money resources in your bank account to bring in a consultant or bring in a bookkeeper or someone who you can afford to pay for a few hours, maybe a week or a month, then you should do that.
Yeah.
Because as a business owner, you are the CEO of your operation. And as a CEO, your job is to go out there and cut deals and bring in deals.
Because who knows the business better than the person that founded it or the one that the idea was germinated with?
Exactly.
You. So you're the one that go out and sell the business, not your underlings.
That's right.
Right. It has to be you.
Yes.
And so I think if we wanted to break it down, especially, a lot of our business owners are solopreneurs, right? And they think, okay, well, I'm doing things. But when you become so overwhelmed that you can't really meet all the expectations, but you have expenses that need to meet all those expectations, that's one of the first signs that you really need to be thinking about a employee.
Right. And let's just put this out there, Crystal, for a second, okay? I'm not going to act like I am above many small businesses and I know all these great things and therefore I can function. I too am human like many small business owners, and I recognize I can't do everything. I have hired Crystal sometimes to help me do certain things because that's her wheelhouse. That's what she does very well. She does bookkeeping, she does accounting, she does payroll, she does tax preparation. She does those things very well. So therefore, I don't do it. I hire Crystal to take care of those things. And the good thing
about hiring someone that already does it, the time it would take me to do it is much faster than it take you to do it, right? So I can just knock it out because it's what I do.
Exactly.
But you, the person, the business owner, has got to figure it out first.
Yes.
And then got to go through some help. You got to Google it. You got to YouTube it.
Yes.
Well, by that time, the person, you done already paid the person. They've already done it, and they've done all
and that's their expertise.
Right, exactly.
Just like with marketing. I can market. I can go out and I can meet with contract providers. I can have a discussion. I can sign contracts. But those strategic marketing that's required in your business where you do social media and a variety of other things, that's not me. There's no way I'm going to spend my time doing that.
And that's a good point that you just made because so many people, and I think that's one of our biggest issues is that for our businesses that we don't tell anybody, we don't have the right marketing budgets or plans. But social media has changed how we market and has made it so much easier. And I hear people resisting hiring somebody that's their business.
Yeah. Well, those are the people who are going to struggle a little bit because they think they shouldn't bring someone in to help them and they can do it themselves. They're going to struggle a bit. Yeah. Because then there are 24 hours in the day. And if you have to spend time doing marketing, you got to do advertising, you got to do bookkeeping, you got to do operations, especially if you have employees. Running and managing your employees suck up the most time ever in your business.
It does. It really does.
It sucks it up.
Because they're people and they're moving parts. Marketing is moving parts because if you're marketing or even if you are pretty adept at social media, how do you measure? You got to measure that the social media is working.
You got to measure the effectiveness. You got to measure it.
So if you hire someone that's their business, then if they care about their business, then they're going to do what they're supposed to be. And you really need to do your research to make sure and get references from people who have social media managers that are actually putting out the work and have guarantees about their work and they have outcomes and measures. It's not just everybody. Now, small businesses, you can start with hiring your team. And if you're training them, you're doing two things. You're one, teaching them to be somebody, to work for somebody and an employee, right? And then the second thing is you're getting the work done.
Right. And the thing is, if you hire, let's say we're on the topic of social media. Let's say you hired a social media practitioner to help you in your business. Or let's say you're thinking of hiring that person. One of the first things you want to do is you want to see their track record. You want to see what they've done before, with whom. Right. So, have them show you, show me an example of a campaign that you've ran for another business similar to mine in the industry. Show me the results. Show me the measurement. Show me the performance so I can have an idea. Because you got to be able to match apples to apples.
Exactly. And there's so many people that are still so resistant of social media. It just amazes me. The other day I was teaching my students on helping them set up their LinkedIn accounts. Because they're looking for jobs. So that's the place where you go, your resume, your electronic resume. And so I was getting pushed back because so many people are like, well, I'm so private. But, this is the world that we live in. So now you can put in restraints to protect yourself, but you can't be afraid of it. You can't when millions, 5 billion people are on Facebook and it gives you the capabilities to drill down to a certain demographic for the product or service that you have. And your budget can be $5. That behooves you to do that.
Oh yes.
Because you can't find a print marketing outlet that's going to give you a $5 budget and reach billions and millions of people. That's not going to happen, right? And there's so much more work behind it. So we really, in today's world, you got to embrace the modern. You got to embrace the current tools that are out there to help you do a better job at your marketing. Because for me, and I've always said this, marketing helps generate the dollars.
It does. And also you want to look at it this way. If you bring in a social media practitioner to help you out, we all need ambassadors. That's an ambassador for you. That's someone who's working on your behalf to get you the results you need. So then you can focus on other areas of developing your business.
Right.
So that's one of the key ways you want to look at it. Now, if the person who is supposed to put their information out there and say, I don't want to do social media, I don't want people knowing about me. Think of it this way. If you graduated from a college or a university and you're going to look for a job, what are some of the easiest ways to get the word out, to get your resumes out? You go to monster.com, you upload your resume there. That's opening to everybody. You go to the Department of Labor, you go to EDD. You see what I'm saying?
Everybody knows about
Everybody knows, exactly. You go to EDD, you got to give them a copy of a resume before you get your first unemployment check. You see what I mean? So that's out there for the public to see as well. So people are going to know about. So what are we hiding? You have a bank account. That's that's in the cloud.
That's in the cloud.
So that's there for everybody to get. Your medical record, everything is out there in the cloud. So
right, exactly. And somebody the other day told me, Crystal, have you Googled yourself? Well, and if I did, I market a show every week.
Exactly.
And I'm part of that brand.
Yes.
So I already know. I want me to be able to surface on the search engine so that I rise to the top.
Yeah.
So, I've made a conscious effort.
Oh, yeah.
Now, my personal life is not online because I haven't put it online.
That's a different thing.
My business life, it's there. And if I'm interacting and comments and thought processes and comments that I put on Facebook, that's there. Because I want it to be there.
See, the small business owners who think small, they'll stay small.
Yeah.
You got to think big. Larger businesses, they've got a presence on social media. They're everywhere. They're sponsoring things. Their names are on banners, flyers, different types of things. And that's really what gets your name out. And that's what you got to do. Because the more your name is out there, the more you're aligned with ambassadors who are going to help to promote your business. I've had people promote my business. I don't even know them.
I have a whole troop of them out there. I didn't even name them as the ambassadors, but I get calls and they'll say, oh, so-and-so told me to give you a call.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
So, and YouTube lately, LinkedIn, I've had people reaching to me.
Yes.
I see we have mutual connections.
Yes.
And I think that we have some synergy. Can we talk? Let's see if there's something that we can do together.
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to promote your business in my area and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, and when you go to meetings, networking is extremely important.
Oh, yes.
It's the lifeblood of your business. In fact, Gilbert is going to be doing a workshop on creating and building relationships for recycling black dollars on June 22nd.
Yeah.
So we want you guys to come out. You can go to RBD's website and you'll see the flyer. You can go on our Facebook. I've sent e-blasts out about it. But when I go somewhere, I was at a meeting yesterday, and technically, when I went in there, I was promoting a youth program, right? Yeah. So I'm listening, and they're talking about case studies and information that has to do with DPS and runaway children. I'm thinking, okay, well, that other than the fact that I'm coming here to recruit some kids to be in my program, I don't really see any synergy. Right. So they were going over a case study, and so the lady that had allowed me to come in to do my presentation, she goes, you can stay or you leave. And I'm like, no, let me just stay. Let me sit here and listen. Yeah. So while I'm sitting there, Gilbert, this lady was talking, and she was working out the case study, and she was very good at what she did. And then she said, and the case study was about a family who they had an 18-year-old son. And the mother was receiving some CalWorks. So they were getting some social services, right? Yeah. Well, because he was 18, he couldn't stay with the mother because he was an adult. And so the case study was, well, how would you handle that? What would be the services and the resources you would refer them to? Right. So she went, well, we have a youth program. I'm with the youth center, and we have paid internships. I went, paid internships. Okay, let me listen more closely, because I was kind of on my phone, not really paying attention. She goes, right, we'll pay the student to be there if somebody's willing to train them. Wow. She had my full undivided attention at that point, right?
And sometimes we don't know that exists.
We don't know that exists. So so after she did, I had to wait patiently for her to go through the case and for them to be finished with that exercise. And then I was like, can you tell me a little bit more about that youth service that you have? And so she went in. I said, well, I have businesses that are in need of employees. They're not yet in a position to pay, but they know they need that. I've actually talked to some of them about apprenticeships. Mm-hmm. So can we do some business together? Yeah. And she goes, yes. And so while I'm talking, this other young lady says, she goes, I even got one better than that. I have young adults who I teach. They come to LACC and they're learning trades. Wow. And we need some place to put them. And she goes, that's the missing piece for us is the network into business owners. Right. And she says, and we really need someone to walk us through and in. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wow, I didn't hit a gold mine. We have a call. And hello, how are you? Who's our caller today?
Hey, Crystal, it's Margot. How are you, ma'am?
How are you?
I'm good.
We're glad that you called.
Hello, Margot.
Hi, Gilbert. How are you, sir?
Doing fine, thank you. Thanks for calling in today.
Oh, well, you know what? I'm enjoying the show. And I'm thinking, I couldn't get out of my mind a statement that was made for us startup businesses, the new businesses, to have a mindset that is that of a major corporation.
Exactly.
Will you all elaborate on that some more, especially starting out so that our mindset is set correctly?
Yes. Well, let me tell you a little bit about that, Margot. One of the first things you want to do when you're a small business and you want to think and operate large is to make sure that you keep good records. You want to keep records. You want to document everything. Make sure that it's available at your fingertips whenever you need it. That's one of the advantages that the larger firms have over small businesses, because anything they need, they can access it, real quickly. So that's one of the first thing that you want to do. The second thing I'm going to have Crystal tell you about, but the second thing is you want to make sure that your finances are up to date and is in order at all times. This is Crystal's area, where you do your balance sheet, your profit and loss, and your statement of cash flow. Make sure those are current. Every month you want to document those and upload those to your system. So, Crystal?
And he's absolutely right. And then I'll take it a little bit further, though. I think when you're a small business, obviously you're thinking small, so you're thinking in smaller quantities. You're thinking you're too small to even think and do and go after bigger contracts, right?
Yeah.
So, but you can't, because you can partner up with other organizations that may have a little bit more than you do, and they may even have more resources financially than you do, but you both can bring something to the table that now can make you eligible to be able to service bigger contracts.
Right.
It makes sense. It gets back to that collaboration thing.
Yes.
It goes back to the collaboration thing. And then, as Gilbert was saying a few minutes ago, who better to have as your ambassador than somebody that you're doing business with?
Exactly.
Right? And now you're both going after something big. I always tell people, and especially my clients that are ready to go to that next level, it's harder to get there by yourself. Because you look at your financials and like, I'm just not quite there. But when you're going out and you're networking people and you're listening for some synergy between yourself and another and someone else that you're speaking with, and then you're thinking, wait a minute, there was a contract I could have gone for, but I didn't have X, Y, and Z. But as I'm talking to them, they have X, Y, and Z.
Yes.
Can we go together and do that contract together?
That sounds good. That's a good idea.
Right?
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
And Margot, also another thing that small businesses need to do in order to be on the same level as a big business is to make sure that your documents are in order. Make sure you have a checklist of all the key documents you're going to need to run your business efficiently. Like, for example, you want to make sure you have your business license. You want to make sure that you have, if you're a sole proprietor, you want to make sure you have your fictitious business name. You want to have that registered and ready to go. If you're selling a product, then you want to make sure that you have your sales license, your sales permit. So you can, and you want to make sure you pay taxes too. Another thing that the small businesses do, they don't want to claim certain taxes. They don't want to claim the revenues that they're making, so they want to take a loss. They want to make it look like, it's a loss, so therefore they didn't make that money. Well, what that does, that prevents you from going out and getting a line of credit, because it doesn't show really how much money you can make, but what it does show is that you're only able to make a smaller amount.
Okay.
Yes. So those are key things. The bigger businesses, they function differently. So they report their revenues, and they may write off certain things, but at the same time, you see the large revenues they make. So then they're able to get a line of credit or a loan from a lender.
Gotcha. They do report their revenue.
They report the revenue. So that's one of the key things. But we want to make sure that we have the basic things registered and in place. Like your Dun & Bradstreet number, for example, that's something that you need to have. And a lot of small businesses, they do not know how to go about getting their Dun & Bradstreet number, because from what they heard is it's going to cost them $600, $800, $1,000. That number is free. It's supposed to be free.
Okay. Okay.
So we can provide you a link so you can log into the Dun & Bradstreet database and just apply for it. It's free.
Wow.
And let me ask you this, Margot. You actually have recently worked for a corporation.
Yeah.
When you were working there, what made them successful?
Well, you knew for one thing, you knew what they stand for. You knew where to get their information. And if it wasn't at your fingertips, you knew who to go to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you had to do a little digging, but you could get to the information that you need. And everybody pretty much worked together, because it was all for the cause of the company.
Mm-hmm.
From day one, that's the way they operated and operate to this day.
Right.
And also they have policies and procedures in place, right?
They sure do.
So that's what the small business need to do. They need to have policies and procedures in place to show that they're a responsible business.
And the other thing is, and it's duplicable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
even though they may be in one state, and in your case, your company was in one state, and then they were able to be domestic and then international and global, right?
Oh, yeah.
So they had to start from somewhere, but they had to have a plan in place.
Yes. And then they let everybody know what it is.
Yes.
And you sign off on it.
Yes.
And no one can. There were no. It was not your company. You did it this way.
Right.
And like you say, the policies and procedures are in place.
Yes.
This is the way we operate. I just have one other question. Now, as far as these policies and procedures go, we pretty much can get that situated when we're doing our business plan. Pretty much.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Well, you should definitely have, when you've written your business plan, have done your research on other industries and other businesses that operate like yours, and then you're writing your policies and operations and procedures within your business plan. So your plan, everyone thinks when they're doing a business plan, they're doing it for the benefit of being able to acquire funding for their business, right? Yes. And that's really not true. Your business plan is your Bible and your roadmap to get from point A to B, right? So you'll know what steps you're getting to, and then every year you want to go back and revisit that while you're making your plans and setting your goals for the next year to make sure you're still in line with your goals, still in line with your mission and your vision, but still being able every year expanding your business and taking it to that next level.
Okay, every year. Okay. Got you on that. I don't want to hog up the time. I just have one final question, I promise. Now, as far as the policies and procedures go, someone told me when you get to the place that you need to outsource, you definitely have to make sure that you have those policies and procedures, the way you do it first, and then you have all of that written down before you even think about outsourcing. You guys go along with that also?
I agree with that. In fact, I have an example of that. I had a client that we recently, about 2 years ago, started the process of payroll and she had contractors, but one of the things that was kind of blurry was when she brought in a younger contractor. They didn't quite understand that they were not an employee. It was an assumption because our older ones knew what they were doing, right? They knew they were being contracted. So this young man didn't know that, and so when they parted ways, which was a couple of months, he went for unemployment. Well, he wasn't a contractor. He wasn't an employee. And he truly wasn't an employee. So she started getting notifications from EDD. And that was something she had to get in place. She had to have policies and procedures because she had to prove that this person and it was not her employee. So how she proved that was with the financial records that I provided for her, because I do her books for her every month, and I could show when he was hired and the type of work that he did based upon how she billed him, or he invoiced her. And then secondly, she then had a plan. She had put her policies and procedures as to what constituted a contractor and what constituted an employee, and she had enough contractors that were not on premise that she could fight her case, and so she won.
Wow.
Margot, here's an easy example of how you can do this. So let's say you're a one-woman shop right now, and you're going to bring someone in. your policies should state that if you're going to hire an employee, one of the first thing you do is you do a W-2.
Okay.
So I'm sorry, you do a W-4.
Yeah.
The W-4 is a form you do before the end of you have to give them their tax return document. So you do a W-4. That's going to be the policy. But if you're not bringing them as an employee, the policy should say you're going to do a W-9. You have them fill out a W-9. And Margot, I want you to think about it this way. I want every person that you hire to do some work for you who is not an employee, make sure they all fill out that W-9. Because at the end of the day, you have to give them a 1099, right?
Yeah.
And you got to report that to the IRS. So the only way you can do that and get their information, and the reason you're doing this up front before they actually start doing any work, because if after you pay them and then you start asking for that information, they may not want to give you the social or the business tax ID number. Because that happened to me. So that's why I'm sharing this to you.
Oh my! So this includes people that are doing freelance work also.
Yeah, if they're doing freelance.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. So you want to make sure you do that. Then those are part of the policies and procedure I'm talking about. So you have that in place, so you know, is this person going to be an employee or are they going to be an independent contractor or a freelance worker? And if the answer is yes, they're going to be an employee, then you do the W-4. And then they go through a different step. Then you got to do orientation with them. You got to do training to get them, on the job and have them learn how to do it. But if they're an independent consultant, then you don't really have to train them per se.
Well, they should be coming trained.
Exactly. They come in already trained. So all you got to do is give them guidelines as to how your company works and what they need to do within your organization.
But if they're doing freelance, then you have to get that W-9.
Yeah, you give them. Yeah, you get that W-9 to fill out the first day before they start working.
Right. And I also do a contract for all the people that I do business. When I go out to contract with someone, I am the one that provides an agreement. This is the services that I'm going to provide, and in the capacity I'm going to provide them in, and they sign it and I sign it. So at least there's no confusion as what the expectations are on both sides. So I don't let them give me a contract. I provide a contract. So to them, and then if we have to make some adjustments to it, we do that. But I find that kind of helps you down the line if there's some disagreements as to what X, Y, and Z was supposed to do. Then it also makes you a professional. It's not a gig that you're doing. People really take you serious. And when you go to charge them for whatever you're charging them for, they understand that you're a professional and you're in business.
Run the business as if you're going to be in court next week defending yourself, okay?
Wait a minute, that's what it sounds like, but that's the world we live in.
Exactly,
so,
because you never know.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the conversation and the information. I really appreciate it.
Not a problem, Margot. We are happy you called in because this is great. This is what Crystal and I do and advocate every day. So if you have more questions, don't hesitate.
Okay, I won't. Wait a minute. I just know that other people need to call in because this is an opportunity, and we can't let opportunities slip by us.
That's true.
So
and we want everybody to raise their businesses to that level where we're all companies and corporations, and we can make an impact in our community. And, obviously from Recycle Black Dollars, and that we're actually utilizing each other because we're running those type of businesses, right? We're running quality businesses with quality services, with policies and procedures, and our foundations are solid. Then there is no, if you choose not to use me, it's not because I'm running a shoddy business. I'm running a quality business, and we just didn't work out well. That's it, but not because of the type of business I'm running.
Well, I'm sorry. Unless somebody else is on the line, I promise.
Go ahead.
Not a problem. Go ahead, Margot. Go ahead.
If most of us, the people that I know, we don't want a shoddy product, and we're out for good customer experience. And I'm back on this policy and procedures to make sure that that's in place. Either one of you all teaching a class on on the business plan? So because I did one with you, Crystal.
Uh-huh.
But it's long overdue, and I'm in a different place. I would love to be able to go ahead and take another look at that from another angle and just start from the ground up. So if either one of you all aren't teaching it, maybe you can point me in the right direction.
We can arrange that for you.
Actually, I'm thinking in September I'm going to have a business plan class. It's pretty long overdue. I haven't done one in a while.
Okay.
My calendar will open up for a little bit, so at least for that time frame before I have to do Mount SAC again. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can do that. I'll look at the calendar and look at my future dates, and probably in September I think people could be ready, because we would really like to see people. Gilbert and I want to start getting everyone business ready and contract ready, and part of that contract is a business plan, right?
That's correct.
So you would already have that step done, and then we can move on to what else you need to do in order to be ready for the contract opportunities for you.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Margot, here's what we're going to do for you. For you calling in today, we got a special gift for you.
Okay.
So we have a system. It's a proprietary system called Small Biz Pro.
Okay.
And what Small Biz Pro is, it's a business management, procurement assistance, and market research assistance tool that helps small businesses to become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. So we're going to give you a free subscription in that for 3 months, so you can try it out. Mm-hmm. Okay. So here's what I'd like you to do. Our production person, the person who produces the show, she is going to take your name and your number, and your email, and she's going to provide it to us. We'll send you the link so you can log into the system. And then if you have any questions about how to access it or whatever, I can personally guide you through that. So we're going to take care of you.
That sounds good, Gilbert, and I really appreciate that. I'm just wondering, I don't want to take an opportunity from somebody who's further along than me. I've been doing the radio show, but I'm really beginning this financial platform.
Yeah.
So am I a good fit for your tool?
You are definitely a good fit. This tool is for startup business, emerging business, and existing business. Okay. So when you're starting up, you remember what I said earlier, that you want to make sure you have your documentation in order so you can access it in 10 seconds or less?
Yes.
Well, that's what this system does. This system allows you to access your business license, your business plan, your fictitious business name, your financials, anything, your marketing document, right there at your fingertips.
Oh, yeah. I need that.
And aren't you going to the Power Network conference this?
Yes, indeed.
So you're gonna, according to George, we're gonna all come back with all these multiple lines of streams of income. So you're gonna be really ready when you come back from the conference.
And that's another reason why I asked about the business plan, because I know that I'm growing and things are happening fast, and I'm a paper person, and I need something that I can look at, and something that will keep me focused, so that I don't go after that shiny object thing. I need to stay, because now is the time. I know that now my time has come, and I don't want to get off the track. I have some place to go, and I have a timeline.
Yes,
so.
yes.
But, this has been great. My goodness, I love you too. Thank you.
I am happy that you call in, Margot.
And I will see you in actually, we got about 3 weeks before the conference. I'm really excited. For those of you that don't know about it, it's the Power Network Conference that's going to be happening in Baltimore, Maryland in July 5th through the 6th through the 9th. And we're going there to be razzled and dazzled and network with all of the power brokers that George Frazier is pulling together, and it's going to be an amazing opportunity. So I believe they have a few more spots left. So if you're interested, you can reach out to the Power Network, George Frazier, at FrazierNet.com, and sign up today, because it's going to be an awesome, awesome experience.
I'm planning to get there a day before, because that 3-hour time change, it kind of worked me last year. So I'm ahead.
Yeah, I'm flying in I'm flying out red eye on 4th of July.
Me too, me too. Well, I'll be there by evening, but that was my thought also, Crystal, because this is a big opportunity, and the networking is huge. The opportunity, so.
So I'm looking forward to it. So I'll see you next in about 3 weeks.
Indeed. And thank you all so much. Thank you for let me ask questions.
Not a problem, Margot. Anytime. You are welcome on this show anytime.
All right. I'll be back with more questions.
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right.
Okay.
Take care, Margot.
Right.
Oh, wait, Margot.
Yes.
Before you hang out, make sure you talk to our producer so she can get your information so we can get you the software, okay?
All right. I'll hang on. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. So that brings us to, since we were talking about multiple streams of income from George Fraser.
Yes.
So, it's so funny. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I was recalling a client that I had or that I worked with. Actually, a company. It was the last company that I worked for, and we were talking about. Actually, it was Kenny. He was here at the show, and I was saying this company had raised $12 million in order to for their business, right? And I worked for them for 11 months, and when I left, it was because we closed the company down. Mm-hmm. So people are always saying, I need the infusion of cash in order to do business.
Right.
So these people actually burnt through $12 million. Now, that's as much money as anybody should be able to turn a business into a Fortune 500, 1,200, whatever, right?
Right.
And because it could handle everything, but they didn't know how to manage the money.
Wow.
So a lot of times, and so one of the things that Kenny and I were talking about was you can start a business and you can create passive income that will help you grow that business to get to that place where you can start hiring your employees because that's still money that you can forecast.
Right.
And so I did a little research on the multiple ways, and I know you and I have been talking about that because, we want to work smarter, not harder, right? Yeah. So as much as we are running around all over the place, we need passive income. And so some of the ways that when I did my research was to create books, and we're very excited about that. After Dr. Thompson was here, and you're excited.
Oh yeah.
And ebooks are even cheaper to do because it never actually ever gets to paper.
That's true.
It's all digital.
That is true.
And you sell your little ebook for what we do. Sell it for $5, $6, and millions of people buy that because the subject matter is something that people want.
Yes.
So those are
phenomenal.
And that's ways that you can generate income. That is not part of your business. You don't have to run all over the place for it. Right. You're putting it in one spot and people are buying it.
That's
of course,
amazing.
You're doing your marketing.
Yeah.
And then what we do right here with the podcast, it's a marketing tool.
Oh, yeah.
But at the same time, it can generate income for your business, passive income.
That's what I'm talking about.
So, we need to think smarter as business owners.
Oh, yes. We can't do everything, be everywhere, and be all things for all people. We got to be smart about it. We only have 24 hours in a day.
Yep.
And,
And sometimes I run out of week.
I know.
I got more work than I have week.
I know. And I could be a testimony to that, too, that, sometimes I don't even... I run out of sleep. I don't get enough sleep because, I'm trying to take care of so many clients. So I'm learning from myself that I need to take my time, delegate stuff, hire good ambassadors so that they can deliver my message, my vision, my mission within my organization, and pay them for their services. And, we'll be fine.
Right, exactly.
We'll be fine.
And the collaboration is a big one.
Oh, yeah. Collaboration is key.
Right, because you have those, because obviously, I promote your business as well as I'm promoting my own business. And I know the other day, somebody that didn't know you, and I was handing out flyers for the show, and they're like, who's the guy?
Yeah.
I said, that's Gilbert Buchanan. What does he do? I told him what you did. I was like, he goes, oh, I might need to talk to him. And we were talking about the Small Biz Pro. Like, oh, I need that program.
Yeah.
So that's how it happens. Just collaborating with another business another business person will help support and grow your business because they're marketing for you as well as you're marketing for them.
And you know what's important about that statement you just made, Crystal? Customer will be more willing to listen to someone else speaking about your business than to listen to you speak about it yourself. Because when someone else speaks about your business, it's like a testimonial to your business. You see what I mean? So that is a phenomenal thing to have ambassadors speaking on your behalf because they know your product, they know your service, they know your credibility as well. And another thing that I want to add is when we're talking about collaborating with people, it's really, really key for us to understand those people's core values. Because if those core values are not in line with our core values, that could be a problem. You know, and by core values, I mean integrity, you know, knowing their trustworthiness. Are they honest? Are they transparent? You know, those are things you want to know. You know, are they dedicated? They're reliable, you know?
And when you said that, that's kind of interesting because if you had to actually, because your Vegas contract was a referral, right?
Yeah, it was a referral.
Someone brought you in, right?
Yes.
Now think at how warm and welcoming they were to you when you got there, right?
Exactly.
But that would have been a different story if you had hunted them down, right? And then when you the very first word out your mouth, they're seeing if you really can do what you can do, right? So you go in and comfortable. You just go do what you do. Because someone had already laid the already opened up the pathway for you. All you had to do is just go in and execute based upon how you run your business.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's why having ambassadors and collaborators is so key.
I think that's like the best way because it's a warm welcome. Most of my business now have been word of mouth. Actually, my business started with word of mouth. So when I actually had to go out and recruit and find and market and cold call, that was a whole. I didn't even know what that animal was.
Exactly.
But I do like the feeling that when I get there, my reputation has already preceded me based upon the person that have sold me.
Exactly.
To that person.
Exactly.
So it's not I'm not talking about how much my services are. They already know.
Right.
They already know they're going to have to pay me something.
Exactly.
They already know that I'm someone that whoever referred me in, this is somebody that they refer all the time.
Exactly.
So it's a done deal. And you don't even have to do a lot of negotiating.
That's true.
It's just, okay, this is what I do. This is what I charge. And they're like, okay, so when did we start?
Yep.
It's
That's
like, and then when you get there, they're like, okay, and can you do this? And can you do this? And and I'm going to refer you to here. It's like, it just mushrooms and grows.
Exactly.
So people that are resistant to work with other people, I don't get it.
I know. That's usually those things happen because of limited knowledge or, limited exposure to how that process works. Okay. So they'll always be that. But the more they get involved, and that's why when they do networking and they network with good caliber people like yourself, myself, and others, the people we surround ourselves with, then they'll see that. Then they start feeling more comfortable. They start going, wow, why haven't I done this before?
Exactly. I heard a comment. I was on a conference call for the Power Network, and so they did a little seminar for us last week. And I was driving back in from Mount Sac, and there was a guy that's actually taking over, or he's going to be the succession for George Frazier's name is Dr. Randall Prickett. He actually won The Apprentice. Black guy.
Oh, I know him.
You know him, tall guy. So he was on the call, and so they were all giving tips to us when we got there to network and on networking skills. And pretty much I've followed George for a long time, so I kind of know his style. But something that Dr. Prickett said that was very interesting is that your people that you know really well, they can't really and you guys work in the same space and you've known each other and you know each other's thought processes. It's the ones that you don't know.
Yes.
That you can learn so much more from. Like the experience I had yesterday when I was at that meeting. Because that was not my area. But when I walked in and I came out with all what I got from it, so that's another area that when we're out collaborating and networking, you collaborate with somebody that's not part of your circle.
Exactly. That's one of the things that I teach in my workshops at Edison in the EDGE program. Mm-hmm. I teach small businesses to partner with other businesses that's not in their industry and see how they can come together and align themselves to work together on a project. Do you see what I mean? Because if you can do that, let's say your accounting and finance, you may work with a project manager, you may work with another business management consultant, you may even work with a construction contractor.
Right.
You put that all together, and you're supposed to be on a team. It's going to be amazing how all of those parts come together. Yeah.
Right. So expand your horizons.
Yes.
When we're talking about growing and thinking like a corporation, those are the things they do. Right.
Yes.
They're always out going to conferences and meeting new people and being able to create synergy between them.
Right.
And have never met them before.
Exactly.
But can bring some amazing opportunities for them.
Right. Now, part of what we were talking about, Crystal, about understanding your finances and mastering it. One of the key things that we need to understand about financing as small business is to collect our money. We need to collect our bills. You see what I mean?
Well, one would think that would go without saying, but I guess that is
exactly. A lot of us do not collect our bills, and then we wonder why we don't generate enough money. One of the first things that you need to do, even if the person that you're conducting business with is your friend or your family, you want to collect from them. As a matter of fact, those are the ones you want to collect from first.
Yeah.
Because those are usually the ones who don't pay.
Oh, yeah. And they're the ones that try to run a scam on you.
Exactly.
Or try to a fast one on you. And you look like, wait a minute, we didn't agree upon it. That's one of the reasons I started with making sure that everybody that I work with is do a contract.
Yep.
Because I've had, working with nonprofits, and sometimes when I'm working with a nonprofit and I'm volunteering, this is my pro bono to them, and I'll create a flyer, which is not my business.
Yeah.
That's just something that I like to do.
Yeah.
So a lot of the organizations that I give of my time, I'll do the marketing flyers and so forth. So consequently, they're like, "Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you do it for me?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I can, but it comes at a cost.
Exactly.
And then they come with some extreme. I had someone recently do this to me, and it didn't sit too well with me, and I'm still trying to figure out how to handle it, because they came at me and like, I want 10 flyers for a certain price. And I'm like, no, you don't. First of all, you don't need 10 flyers for this particular event.
Right.
And so I gave them based upon a relationship that we were working together on another project.
Yeah.
So I gave them a price of $125 for a couple of flyers.
Yeah.
So when I got done with the flyers, and it only took 4, which is still darn cheap for $125.
Yeah.
Then she comes back and I said, "You didn't," and I gave her the opportunity to pay for it. Half of it up front,
right,
and then they were going to pay on the back, and then I didn't get my back, and I didn't get my back, and she said, "Well, you were going to do 10 flyers." No, I never told you I was doing 10 flyers for $125.
Yeah,
I gave you a real dirt cheap discount, but not to take advantage of me. See if you ever get another flyer out of me.
See, that's the thing with a lot of these entities. They think that because they know you, they can just walk all over you. They don't have to respect boundaries or give you the respect to your credibility and your expertise as required.
Right.
And that's why we got to draw the line. That's what we were saying earlier with Margot about operating like a larger business.
Right.
Big businesses, they don't do the fringe stuff.
No.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
If it costs X amount, that's what it costs. And you pay by a certain time, and you could pay by credit card, or you could pay by certain methods.
Yeah.
But you're not going to get the stuff first and then you have to pay later when you may not want to pay.
Right, exactly.
Right.
And if I'm cutting you a deal, that's because I want to. Don't ask me for the deal.
Exactly.
Let me cut the deal for you because I'm feeling gratuitous that day.
Exactly.
But I'm in business, and I think everybody on Facebook, those of you that are in business, understand that you are in business.
Yes.
And people respect you when you set those boundaries.
Oh, yeah, you have to. And people know that. And just remember this. If you don't remember anything else that we say today, just remember this. You tell your friends, your family, and associates that You may be friends with them, but they're not friends with your money. Okay? You may be friends with them, but they're not friends with your money.
Yeah, your money is your money.
Your money is your money. They pay you your money. You set terms and conditions.
And it's funny you said that because this past week with number 45, he needs a team of attorneys, right? And did you see that?
Oh yeah.
He cannot contract any attorneys because their chief problem was he doesn't pay his bills. Now he's the president of the United States, and they're like, sorry.
Yep.
Sorry. Yeah, and their reputation. They're also concerned about their reputation.
That's what I'm talking about. So business owners, if you really want to make it, you collect your money. And for several reasons. One, it helps you to be sustainable. Mm-hmm. That means you have money flowing through your company, your cash flow is going. Right. Secondly, banks look at you more favorable when you collect your money because then they know that you're going to collect enough money so you can pay them.
Right. And that's part of your accounts receivable. So you want to do invoices.
Yes.
Even if you have to create your own invoices, but you want to create invoices so you'll know how far out, if you have any past due invoices and if you're supposed to be collecting on them. And if you're using gateways like PayPal, as Gilbert just learned his new gateway. So PayPal actually will send you a notification to say this invoice, do your invoice through PayPal.
Yes.
And they'll give you if you're 30 days out or 60 days out and do you want to send a new. So use PayPal if you have yet to set up a accounting system. But invoice somehow or another to make sure. And I think even the Square, if you're invoicing them for something, you can do all of that through that. So there is no excuse nowadays not to get paid.
And small businesses, and we keep giving you these pointers. We don't want you to just listen to them. We want you to implement them.
Right.
Here's what we want you to do also. If you have an account receivable, that means somebody owes you money. Mm-hmm. Make sure it does not go beyond 30 days. So they better pay you in 30 days or less. Once it goes beyond 30 days, you know what happened? That becomes an aging. Aging means that it's over 30 days and it's old and your chances of collecting that money is slimmer and slimmer.
Yeah, the longer stays
So
up there.
make sure that you get paid within 30 days or less. If you're a consultant, you want to set up your policies and procedures to be paid within 10 days or 15. Mm-hmm. No more than that.
Right, exactly. Depending on who you're doing business with, depending on my clients, some of them I get paid due upon receipt.
Yeah.
But I always get half up front.
Mm-hmm.
So or I break it over if it's a long period. If I'm writing a business plan for somebody, I'm gonna get my half up front. I'm gonna get my second in the middle part, and before I give you a finished product, I'm paid.
Collect your money.
Because it's really a nerve-wracking, stressful thing to have to run people down for money because you've done your part.
Oh yeah.
And if you hold your business in certain type of esteem, then you're doing the best. You're providing the best business with the best integrity and customer service.
Yes.
So I need to be compensated for that.
What
but you're in business to make money. That's what Nolan Rollins all that. Make no mistake.
That's right.
What he says. Make no mistake. It's about the money.
It's about it. You are
in business to make money.
That's right.
All right. And you should not be apologetic for the fact that you're
trying to collect your money.
Right, exactly.
And if you're not making money, then maybe business is not what you're supposed to be in.
Right.
Maybe you need to be like a Santa Claus, where you donate stuff, you give away stuff.
You're working at a nonprofit.
Even nonprofits are making profits because they have to stay in business.
Yeah, they have to stay in business.
So, if you want to be a Santa Claus, that's fine, but just remember.
That's being a philanthropist.
Yeah.
But you got to make money in order to be a philanthropist.
That's what I'm talking about.
You can't give away nothing.
You can't.
So you got to still make money somewhere. So then you're in a position to do that.
So we just wanted to put that out to you small business owners. And you're on the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert Buchanan. And we're here today to share our expertise with you. We're available And Crystal, if you want to give them the phone number again.
You can call at 323-293-3375. We are here every Friday afternoon from 3 to 5, here to answer your questions, here to bring amazing guests. You know what, Gilbert? We are 1 month out.
I know, from our anniversary,
right?
From
our anniversary. We have been on the air for almost a year.
Hooray!
So we're going to be, next month, I'm going to be promoting that. I'm going to start promoting that.
We got to celebrate. We got to do it in style.
Right. We're at our 50th episode.
Yep.
50th episode.
Wow, so this is phenomenal.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we have to thank Miss Felicia.
We got to thank our production manager,
for helping
director.
us through the process.
She is phenomenal. She's guided us and provided us all the tools and resources we need. We couldn't have done it without her.
We could not have done it without her. And you had more experience than I did. I just had a passion and a drive to want to do it.
And she helped to make it so much easier.
Right, exactly. So we definitely still a student and still learning. But having a fantastic time.
Yes.
But before we finish up today, I do want to talk about a couple of events coming up.
Yes.
So our one and only Mr. Gilbert Buchanan is going to be teaching the 2017 Edge program workshops. They're free workshops that are sponsored by Southern California Edison Supplier Diversity and Development Department. Recycling Black Dollars is presenting it. And so on June 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12:30 at U.S. Bank Community Room at 5760 Crenshaw Boulevard, and that's at the corner of Crenshaw and Slauson. We are going to be he's going to be doing a workshop for us, building effective client relationships. Really, really important class. This is a 4-series workshop series that we're doing. We have 2 in August and then 1 in September, but it's all about networking and creating, managing, and building business relationships. So please feel free to come out, register. There is a flyer out there, and I will send it to you, but call Jackie B at 323-449-2099. Her email is myjackieb@yahoo.com to register. There's a blast that I sent out, so hopefully you guys will get that. It's a continental breakfast served and plenty of free parking.
And I want to say this, Crystal, about that class we're doing on the 22nd. I want to invite everyone to that class because you're going to walk out of there feeling much, much better about running your business than ever before. And this is all about establishing relationship with contract providers and also with other clients and customers as well. We're going to do a personality profile in this workshop, which is phenomenal. You guys are going to love this.
Oh, wow.
You're going to learn so much about yourself and also your ability to run your business. So come on out. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too, and I'm glad that you're going to be the instructor for it.
I'm excited.
Presenter. Another event that's coming up, and it's actually next week. You can register now. It's on June 16th. It's the Novel Bowl LA, which is the NAWBOLA conference. It's the 31st annual Leadership and Legacy Awards luncheon, and it's got some amazing trailblazing honorees, and you can get your information at NAWBOLA.org for your ticket information.
And I got 2 workshops coming up real quickly next week on the 14th. The LA Latino Chamber of Commerce, they're having a capability statement workshop downtown at 333 South Grand Avenue. Mm-hmm. And I'll be teaching a brief overview on how to develop your capability statement. That's for free. You guys can show up. And then after that, they'll be talking about certifications and procurement.
Oh, and now when is that?
That's going to be next, the 14th. So that's next Tuesday, is
Tuesday,
it? Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
So come on out. And if you want to learn more about it, you can contact me at Gilbert at thebuchanangroup.net. That's Gilbert at thebuchanangroup.net. And the following day, the 15th, which is a Wednesday, I'll be in Riverside at the Riverside County Black Chamber. I'll be teaching small businesses how to use Small Biz Pro. So, and that's a free workshop as well. So come on out, learn how to better manage your business, how to find bid and procurement opportunities, and how to conduct market research on your business.
All righty. And on Tuesday of next week, RBD Breakfast Mixer, is the second Tuesday of every month. We have Mr. Dave Ford from Southern California Edison speaking. And we also have I think his name is Paul Harris. He's coming out in honor of Father's Day next Saturday.
Oh, very good.
Sunday is Father's Day. So come on out and actually, yes, next Sunday is Father's Day. So come on out. The Breakfast Mixer is at Denny's on Crenshaw and Coliseum. It's from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Come out, network, hear Mr. Ford talk about Edison and all the energy saving opportunities that are out there, and hang out with the recycling black dollars, and let's support each other's business, and let's support each other's let's support our community.
Sounds great. Sounds great to me. Are you going to be in any other events coming up, Crystal?
I don't really have any other until Mount SAC is over.
Yeah.
But I am going to be teaching the Biz Camp for the kids.
Oh,
so
yes.
July
Tell them
10th,
about that.
July 10th to the 31st. This is a great camp. If you guys have some budding entrepreneurial young people from the ages of 14 to 18 hanging around at your house, you want them to come out.
Yeah.
We will take your kids for a 2-week intensive summer program, but Biz Camp is so much fun. Mm-hmm. They will, it includes a field trip and speakers and breakfast and lunch, and at the same time, we're providing them with an entrepreneurial mindset and business skills. They will complete a business plan. They will compete. Our sponsor this year is American Airlines. So the kids are actually going to be solving a problem that American Airlines is going to give them, and they're going to create a solution and then create a business out of that solution.
Maybe these kids can come up with a solution to the overbooking so they don't overbook anymore and grab people off the plane and throw them
drag
out.
them up there. So that we're going to be talking about that. So the camp is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every weekend. There is a mandatory orientation for parents on June 24th, and that will be at 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock, but you have to be there. If you're looking for an application, you like the application, then you're going to contact Kenny Turner at 213-250-8384, and his email address is kennyt@nfte.com. So application process deadline is Wednesday, June 23rd, and we're looking forward to having your kids. We have the capacity for 24 children. They will have a fantastic time. So we would love to have you guys register your kids.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
And we're right at that time again, Crystal. So we're going to tune out right now. This is a Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert, and we're looking forward to seeing you next week, Friday at 3 p.m.
All righty. Bye-bye, everyone. Have a great weekend. Until next week.
Hello, meet Larry. Larry is a general contractor. Larry is very good at his craft, but Larry has a very tough time managing his paperwork because he is busy taking care of his clients' needs. Larry just cannot find his important business documents when needed. Larry is also being passed over for bid opportunities from prime contractors because he is perceived as not ready. He doesn't know where his business license, certifications, insurance, and other key corporate documents are located most of the time. Lucy owns an auto body and collision repair shop and has been using a business management and procurement assistance program called Small Biz Pro to keep her business organized, business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. Small Biz Pro is a 3-in-1 cloud-based business management, procurement, and market research assistance system designed to help businesses become business ready, contract ready, and bank loan ready. It also provides back-office operation solutions for small businesses. Lucy is able to stay ahead of her competitors because she uses Small Biz Pro to manage her business daily. Lucy just clicks on Small Biz Pro from her tablet, mobile phone, laptop, or any internet-accessible device for data retrieval, and she's got it. Lucy introduces Larry to Small Biz Pro, and now Larry is more organized and can now find all of his documents and new bid opportunities in seconds. Larry now saves $120 in labor costs for each missing or misplaced document. Just simply go to your web browser and log into smallbizpro.net and register today for a limited 30-day free trial offer. Services start as low as $1 per day. Let's put the competition out of business. Small Biz Pro. If you stay ready, you don't need to get ready. Register now at smallbizpro.net and begin saving money. Email info@smallbizpro.net or call 626-533-1186.